Leeds City School Board of Education to order. And the time is 4:35.
I would like to recommend for your approval the agenda as written, as well as approval to include the minutes from December 14th. Were there any corrections that need to be? Okay. For your
You need a motion? I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda with the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
You got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed?
all right.
Action item G.
All right, we've got two groups. I tell you what, since Mr. Anderson's going to be just a second late, would it be okay if we swapped and let Mr. Harry go first and present the financial reports?
You're on.
Yeah, all right. Are you up, Harry? Okay.
I've been real objective. I remain seated. Sometimes I guess I wish I could dance, though.
You dance every day, sir.
I have it all in my pockets today.
Little James. Does it will have coffee? We'll start with November. I will be brief, as usual, hopefully. We'll note the bank reconciliation. We had approximately $473,000 in the bank at the end of November. The unfortunate thing is we owed about $400,000 on our line of credit, so we were pretty much broke at the end of November. Things have improved a bit. You will notice with our general fund balance, we had a negative $494,000 fund balance at the end of November. But at the end of November last year, we had a negative $213,000. So a negative fund balance is not abnormal for us this time of year. Once we build our reserve to the 3 months or 4 months that we would like for it to be, we don't have to worry about that in the future. Our utility bills, our Alabama power bill was almost $7,600 year to date, less than last year. Water and sewer about $6,800 less than last year, and our gas bill almost $8,000 less than last year. Cold weather, I think, probably will do away with some of that. That's going to change. If we go to Exhibit F1A, which is the balance sheet for November, you'll notice the first column under the general fund. We didn't have any cash to speak of. We had $6,900 cash in the bank in the general fund. And down at the bottom, you'll see the negative $494,000 deficit fund balance. You will also notice, though, if you go over to special revenue, which is federal funds and child nutrition program, plus the local funds, which are school funds, which are publicly controlled, we had $270,000 in the bank. So, some of the figures are a little deceptive. We can't spend that federal money for anything other than what it's budgeted for. If you go to capital projects, you can see $332,000 sitting there. That figure is PSCA money and QSCAD money, bond money, that is already earmarked. We know where it's going to be spent, and in fact, most of it's gone now. It's not anything that we have control over. We'll go to the next page, Exhibit F2A. This will show our revenue and expense. See that total revenue was $1,600,000 year to date. And our expenditure was $1,900,000 year to date. So that we spent $355,000 more than we took in. Again, that's not unusual for this time of year. Also, you'll see the negative $494,000 deficit fund balance at the bottom. Exhibit F3, this is just a comparison of figures to budget. Pretty much meaningless this early in the year because you're looking at a budget that's a yearly budget. You're looking at expenses that are 2 months of expenses. I would say this, the total revenue, actual total revenue, we collected about 15% of what we should for the year. Budgeted amount there would be about 17% of the fund revenue, so we're probably fairly close to where we need to be here. There were no really unusual expenses in November that I noted. It's always difficult this early in the year to really predict where you're going to be expense-wise because you have some expenses, insurance and what have you, that are very heavy, computer costs and that sort of thing, or what have you, that are very heavy at the front of the year, and you won't have them for the rest of the year. So I will try to point some of those out maybe later. Let's skip the rest of the exhibits because they are really not very meaningful right now. We can go to the check register, which shows every disbursement that was made on state, federal, and local funds. I have not noted any unusual expenses in the check register for November. There are a good many expenses in here that are payments for construction at the elementary school, since we pay the invoices for the construction directly to save the sales tax. One thing I might point out is $8,993 to Pediatric Therapy Associates. We've never really talked about individuals with disabilities and the expense that's involved there. It's an area that probably we need to get into, and then I'll try to come up with some reports and what have you in the future so that we can see how this is affecting us. That's an area that there are mixed feelings about. Indeed. The last page is child nutrition program. You'll see that our total year-to-date in November was a profit of $15,588. When I get to December, that's going to disappear because December is a short month. We only have 2 weeks of revenue plus a full month expense. That will wrap up November. Let's move to December. As opposed to almost no money in the bank at the end of November. In December, we had $1,079,000. However, we still owed the $400,000 line of credit. That is now paid off. We paid that off in January. So we are making progress.
Is that the line of credit we took out back
We
September, October?
Right, the previous year, we opened a $500,000
Yeah.
line of credit,
Okay.
just in case.
Right. And we didn't go, 400,000 was max this year, and we, last year, had it at 300,000. So there was a $100,000 difference,
It'd be a lot
which is
worse.
not terrible. You will now see that in December, we had a positive general fund balance of $394,000. That's not nearly as good as the $827,000 we had the year before. However, it really, all things considered, it's not that bad. Our utilities, you've noticed that the power did go up, our electric bill did go up. It's now $10,000 over what it was year-to-date last year. Water and sewer, $10,000 less than last year at this time, and Alagasco, $6,700 less than it was year-to-date last year.
Is that because we're doing a whole lot better job, or are the credits coming in, or?
Well, I think that probably we are doing a better job.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with some of the Alagasco, the gas expense related to, we had Bolton Street open, we had other, and also we were looking at gas bill that included part of the construction too.
And this construction,
And
plus
hours too.
the other stuff, okay.
Yeah. But I do think that the principals I know are really working with.
I mean, I'm impressed with these, that's why I'm thinking, hey, there's something right.
I've preached.
I know you have.
Okay. Our balance sheet, you'll see that in the general fund, we had $758,000 in cash. You'll also see that we had $410,000 worth of liabilities, which includes the $400,000 line of credit, but also reflects the $394,000 positive fund balance, which is, okay. Hopefully we can maintain that. There really is nothing else very exciting about the incoming expense. As I said, pretty much what I would expect this time of year. If we go to F2A, we'll see that our total revenue in the general fund is $3,445,000. Our total expenses are $2,881,000, which is the way we need to see it. We had $534,000 in excess revenue year-to-date at the end of December. And also that will reflect the $394,000 positive fund balance. I have really nothing to say on the rest of the exhibits. We can go to the check register. I don't believe I noted anything on the check register that was unusual. I did too. You'll notice probably on the last page of the check register, Trillium Digital Communications for $40,776. This is for our internet service for the network. About 78% of that will be refunded to us because it falls under the E-rate. So instead of that $40,000, we should be getting about $32,000 of that refunded.
Harry, did we get our refund, our E-rate from years ago?
Yes, we did.
Okay, it did come in.
It was what, 60 or 70 something?
That's right. That's right.
But, got it and spent it.
Got it, it's been
Got it and spent
the
it.
American way.
That's right. Okay, and let's go to the child nutrition program. We went from a $15,000 profit to a $1,000 profit. The only thing noticeable here really is that the middle school has a fairly large loss. I need to research that. I have not looked at it carefully. I would expect probably, we don't, if you were running a restaurant or a food service business of some kind, you would record your inventory, and what you used in inventory for a month would be expensed. We don't do that monthly in our financial statements. We could, but it could swing $5,000 or $6,000 if we purchase something that we've got in inventory. So I'm not really shocked by that switch there, you know, until I can look at it and see if there's anything really that would be material. And if there are no questions or comments, that's all I can say.
Move to presentation.
Okay. You guys, we're very fortunate to have Mandy Beeson and friends tonight. Mandy has come to us tonight to talk about two great things that are going on at Leeds High School. One is our traditional dual enrollment program that for the English and other subjects that we have there. We have a mild technical difficulty, and I promised her a spot to come back. She had recorded a lot of the kids talking. They were going to do a presentation for you, and we had a mild technical difficulty. She's still going to talk to you. The other thing is, for several years, the Jefferson County Educational Foundation had a program that supported national board certification through the Stellar Teaching Program, where they would elicit candidates in the various school districts in Jefferson County and pay the fee for them to go through the process if they met the criteria. Well, those funds have gone away. And what we elected to do was take some federal money through Title II and have our own program. And Mandy is leading that up. So we have some mentors and some mentees here tonight to talk to you about that program. We have 9 teachers. We just added 1, is that right, Mandy? We have a total of 9?
I thought we had 7, but I don't know.
That's with our addition? With our 1? Okay, so we have 7 national board certified teachers, and I think it'd be a great goal to have a lot more. So, Ms. Beeson.
Okay, so let's be the same. I don't know what the procedure is here.
We won't throw eggs or tomatoes or anything.
Well, luckily I have some folks to support me. I'm so sorry that the dual enrollment video did not work. I saved it on my jump drive frantically as I was headed out the door at 3 o'clock, and so I can send it to you. It's in a PowerPoint embedded presentation. But honestly, the benefit that you would hear from the children is great. So, so many of these kids who take the dual enrollment classes, they're involved in extracurricular activities. So a 4:30 board meeting was very difficult for them. They're at pageant practice or wrestling, or they're at a baseball practice. So anyway, but they would love to tell you, and so many of the kids who were involved in dual enrollment were able to say thank you. It is a blessing to be involved in such a program. It's an incredible program, and I am pleased to be a part of it. So I thank you so much for your support. So I'm going to talk more about that another time. Wait to listen to me again. But tonight I have some folks with me who are just the bread behind this entire program. These ladies get it done in the classroom every single day. National board certification is not for the weak of heart. Let me tell you that the national rate of passing is about 52%. It is the most rigorous training that a teacher can undergo, and it's only for the very serious who love what they do and are passionate about it and want to become better teachers, better motivators, better examples for our kids. So I am so pleased to be involved. It's one of those things I was talking about earlier. When you have an idea, when I pitched the idea to Mr. Moore, I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't really want to run it, you know. So it's one of those things I've learned. I'm learning well, actually. But I can say that I could not have picked a better group of ladies to work with. I'm going to introduce the candidates. Stephanie Freeman is here, and she is one of our cohort candidates, and we're so thrilled. We have 3. Amanda Mercer teaches here at Leeds Middle School, and she's not here. She's in a graduate class tonight. And Susan Hutto, I believe, is still here somewhere, but she's the librarian at the middle school. And Stephanie teaches with me at the high school, and we're going to get her perspective on how this is to be a part of a cohort group. And then I have some wonderful ladies that assist these candidates and helped me so much. Samantha Austin, my baby's teacher last year, and I'm hoping for next year. And she's fantastic. And she and Gina are going to talk about how they have the unique perspective of being stellar participants, as well as now Leeds City Schools cohorts, candidate support providers. So I think that they bring a wealth of knowledge and just the conversation to say, I've been there, I know what you're feeling, this is frustrating, but it's worth it and it's meaningful. And they just bring that empathy that you can't get from somebody who hasn't gone through this process. And just to know that we're all in the Leeds system to promote education here, the best education, and to increase what we demand, the rigor, the standards, to change the culture of our school system. I think that that's what we're all in it for. So I'm going to step back and let them tell you a little bit about the program. It is based on the National Board Standards, the 5 core propositions, basically that teachers are good at what they do. They know their students, they know their subject matter, they're able to engage 21st century learners, all of these things that are so important to excellence in the classroom. So who wants to start? Gina Mize? I love Gina Mize. She is 2nd grade? Yes. And the reason that my little one loves panda bears, even though she didn't have Miss Mize, but it's all about the pandas and Miss Mize. So somebody just tell us what it's like from this perspective.
Okay.
Being a participant as well. Smith Dawson loves to talk.
I do.
Pretending shy, but she's not.
Just sit back. No, I did go through the program with Stellar, which was great. And what they provided, in addition to the financial support, were mentors, so that I had someone to talk to when I had questions about whatever it was that we had to do to meet the criteria. And it was wonderful having that support. However, what I didn't love about it was they weren't people that I worked with. They could have been from anywhere in Jefferson County. And while it was great having a perspective of someone who was different, what I see now as being that provider for Stephanie is we're here together, and I know what she's going through, and she knows what I'm going through, and we are a family helping each other out. And that's the difference that I see between what we were doing with Stellar and what we have the opportunity to do now, just doing it within our system. So I thought that was fabulous when we decided to do that, and I'm so proud that I get to be part of that. But that's the difference that I see, is being able to be, just a family helping each other out, and professionals, of course, helping each other out, and kind of knowing where we're going. And she knows what I've been through and what I'm going through every day, and I know what she's going through and what she's going through every day. So that's my perspective of what it is. So it's fabulous. I think it's a great opportunity. That's all.
Do you have anything to add, Gina?
The only thing that I would add is that I think that it's really great professional development for the women that are going through the process, but being a mentor also helps me personally, and I know Samantha and I have talked as well, because when I talk with Susan about what she's going through, it's reminding me of things that I'm doing in my classroom, and it's just kind of like we're sharpening each other's skills back and forth when we're going through and talking about everything. So it's kind of like you get to be a leader and a learner as well. So it's just an ongoing process of leading and learning and passing it on. And so it's really a great thing, and we thank y'all for letting us be a part of it. A lot of school systems are not doing this, so I think we can brag about that.
And hopefully we can get more people involved, and then, this enthusiasm will spread, and then there'll be more people next year who want to try out for it and become a part of it. Because the collaboration that we are kind of forced to do, we all want to do it, but cutting out that time is difficult. But doing that is, can only be helpful. And
My experience in that other school district with this initiative is that it does grow upon itself. The teachers talk, and they see that they're going to get the support, and they do like that. Their colleagues are the ones that mentor and get in the building.
What about a candidate's perspective? Stephanie, will you share with us?
Sure. I actually looked at starting the process last school year, and I started looking through all this stuff, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this by myself. And so it was great when the cohort meeting came about, so I could participate with everybody else, and just, it's great to have the support and to know that someone else went through it also, and someone who knows our kids and knows, our community and everything, so it's great.
It is the most rewarding professional development for any teacher. Research shows that most teachers do their best teaching between the years of 8 and 12. And so if we can really engage our community of learners and use the fabulous resources that we have here, we're only going to impact our culture in a positive way. And of course, when the kids see their teachers still in undergoing this professional development and this learning and schooling, and it really impacts them that learning truly is lifelong. And I think it's such a positive example that we're setting, and a team effort, certainly. We do have the candidate agreements today. I don't have Ms. Mercer's because I'm leaving it here for her, but basically the Leeds City Schools has paid the $2,500 fee, so it's a huge help to these teachers who are serious about this. And what they've promised to do as a result is undergo this process for 3 years. Now we hope that it'd be great if it's a 1-year process, but it truly was set up to be a 3-year process. And then they have said that as a result, they will stay in Leeds City Schools and teach for 5 years from the certification date. So that, we don't train our people and then they go somewhere else. So that truly we're investing your money, our money, in the community of Leeds. And so we're so grateful for your participation and your support in this endeavor. Do you have any questions for me?
I'm excited.
I'm sorry, my show and tell didn't work. I'll do
That's
it another
okay.
day.
We'll let you come back and show and tell. I promise. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Any of you ladies need to go fill those other roles in your life. We understand. We appreciate you being here. Okay. Good stuff. All right. I want to recommend for your approval action item 3A, which is an authorization to proceed on the reconfiguration.
I make a motion that we approve action item 3 and the reconfiguration of the grades, moving the 5th grade to the middle school.
Got a motion and a second. Any, all in favor?
This is kind of the thin time of the year for personnel. So just a few items on there. I know you've had a chance to review. So for your recommendation, I'd like to recommend personnel.
I make a motion, we approve the personnel agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? None opposed?
Okay, very good. Just a few short comments. I received today a $1,500 donation from the City of Leeds for travel, for the football and all the related programs to help, go back and put some money in there. They had to travel quite distances, so when we see our mayor, our folks in the council, I know we'll want to say thank you for that. Also, the legislative session opens up late this year. We will not have hard numbers until late this year. There's going to be a lot of talk coming up about the budget, potential for proration, potential for moving divisors around and the grade levels. And my experience tells me we won't know until we know, because it will be late. It will be
Session starts March 1st, so I don't anticipate anything probably before end of April, May.
That's right. And that's tough. Every 4th year, the legislative session opens late, and this is that 4th year, and I wish it were not. Yeah, I wish we knew by early April. It just makes it so much easier to plan for the school boards and for the superintendents. So as soon as I know, of course, as always, y'all will know. Things are going well. In terms of the facility here that comes to mind, I believe we've got the heat problem licked. I to say that we have. We
There
put,
was a problem last night.
pardon?
There was a problem last night with something over here. Did that get fixed today?
No, I didn't know we had a problem. We wasn't coming out.
No, it was a bad leak of some sort.
I'll find out.
I went in there with Stephen last night. And he said somebody was supposed to come out today
Okay.
and check it.
They flushed the system, all the glycol out of the system, and replenished it over
Apparently
Christmas.
it was leaking last night.
Okay, I'll find it. No problem. Also, the gentleman who has conducted my PEPI evaluation asked if he could come. We're scheduled to have a meeting on the 8th, which is a Tuesday, but he asked if it would be possible to move it to the Thursday. Would that suit the board? 6 p.m., same place, same time, and in March we'll get back on the schedule. He'll need to read the results into the minutes and make a public presentation.
And that's at regular time.
Yes, ma'am, 6 p.m. There was one other thing. School mutual. And
That would be the 10th.
they'll be on the 10th, that's right. And of course, we'll give notification, reminder. The calendar, I hope to have a proposal. I've got it in pencil and get it out to you right away. I'll give it to y'all first. It's pretty standard. That's all I have.
Those repairs, was that on our time, or did they?
Yep. Everything was out of warranty. Everything is out of warranty.
Did it ever work? You know what I mean?
Not well.
Yeah.
We had 3 different meetings, and I met with the architect the day before we got out for Christmas, and he made some recommendations, and when we flushed the system, it was better.
But why didn't they make these recommendations before when we were at all these other meetings? That would have saved a whole lot of problems.
A whole lot of problems. There are a lot of ideas out there as to why we didn't have a good functioning system. You know, one of the red flags was that we had rubber gaskets, couplings between pipes that were deteriorating. And they should last a long time, not 18 months. Some people say, well, you know, the system wasn't properly flushed when it was turned on. And it ate away, it eroded the rubber. Others, I had another group come in who said that, you know, we had some bearings go out and said, well, moving parts wear out. And occasionally bearings are going to go out in the compressors and things like that. So, I'm hoping that we're getting a new start. I do want to say also that this is School Board Recognition Month in Alabama, and I want to thank all of you for your service. Since we're going to dinner tonight and all that, I thought we would just kind of co-opt both into the same. For those of us who will be attending that with the AASB, but we, of course, as always, appreciate your service. Always.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, as always. It's home. It's a great job. Fabulous job.
Representative Drake said he has another deal for us, but he had surgery, he said he does.
Thanks.
We love you.
We just, he takes care of us.